The governor is out with a five-part plan he says will reduce homicides, shootings, and other violent crimes in Richmond and across the state. That plan also puts pressure on local prosecutors to keep repeat violent offenders behind bars. Political reporter Henry Graff has details from the state capitol.
The proposal comes from the governor's violent crime task force. Some parts he can do on his own, other parts he's going to need help from the General Assembly. Flanked by law enforcement at an event in Norfolk, Governor Youngkin announced his plan to tackle crime.
We do not ignore the problem. We do not sidestep it. We do not turn our head and ignore it.
Dubbed Operation Bold Blue Line, the plan has 5 parts. Youngkin will propose funding in the upcoming budget to fix wage issues for state law enforcement. Virginia State Police, for example, has more than 250 unfilled positions.
We have a serious problem with staffing in our law enforcement agencies, and we must get more badges on the street. Full stop.
He also wants to funnel more funding to places that have community policing and violence reduction tactics already in place, like Richmond. Youngkin also wants to spend $30 million on a nationwide recruitment campaign and fast-track any training for lateral recruits.
What we know is that every community is unique, and the solution to violent crime must be tailored to the reality on the ground.
Youngkin also wants to hire a handful of cross-trained prosecutors to help in a variety of cities, including Richmond and Petersburg. The plan also calls on the General Assembly to reinstate presumption against bail for repeat violent offenders.
It is getting harder to get violent offenders off the street, due in part to a lack of prosecutors, and candidly, in some cases, prosecutors who are willing to prosecute.
State Democrats are firing back. In a statement, it reads in part, quote, if the governor is serious about curbing violent crime, then he would focus his efforts on getting guns off the streets. On your side in Richmond, I'm Henry Graff, NBC 12 News.
Thanks, Henry.